Hey there, welcome to the channel. I'm Cindy Daychak with Queen Bee Creations, and today we are doing a little Halloween kind of shelf sitter. But sometimes I get people asking, where do you come up with your ideas? You know, so in some ways, doing 3 videos a week is a bit of a push. I don't have ideas each week, but sometimes the necessity pushes ideas to come. Other times it comes from weird stuff, meaning I thrifted this bag of costume jewelry, and in it was a necklace with these acrylic beads. Look at how much that little guy looks like a pumpkin. So it kind of inspired doing a shelf sitter. So I'm gonna use like some beads from this necklace that was in it, some beads from this necklace that was in it, and I've got a little piece of driftwood. So I'm gonna pull you in overhead because they're little. These are kind of bigger beads, but things are little. So that you can see what I'm doing, and we'll kind of we'll put together the components of it all before we get going. All right, what I want to do is just kind of get components put together. I have this piece of scrapbooking paper, and I have a little leaf punch. I just happen to have it. I didn't even know I had it. It's got a little maple leaf and an oak leaf, and it's gonna be perfect. So all that I'm doing is punching out some of these little leaves. And I picked that particular sheet because then I'm getting leaves of different color. The next step of what I'm doing is I'm just putting it on this little machine, which has nothing to do with this, but it has a crease in it. And I'm taking a little tiny fine ball stylus, and I am just using that to put a crease down the center of each leaf so that I can fold it nicely. You could just fold it nicely on your own. But then I'm just getting those leaves together so I have them ready to go. The next little component is kind of assembling our little pumpkin. So what I'm looking at doing is taking one of these larger round wood beads, and I'm going to dip them in some hot glue and just glue them onto the top of the pumpkin as part of the peduncle. And then to add a little bit more dimension to it, this tiny necklace has all these little seeds. So all the beads are these tiny little, they look almost like apple seeds, right? So I'm gonna dip one end into some glue and just stick it coming out the top so that we have the peduncle. What I am debating is whether I just have this as a pumpkin patch or a jack-o'-lantern patch. So I think I'm going with pumpkins, but you could certainly paint or use a black Sharpie to put a jack-o'-lantern face on some or all of them, up to you. This one I think I'm gonna try just stacking, do kind of this blush color. So I've put some glue on the bottom. We'll stick that together, and then I'll finish off the same way. All right, we have our little pumpkins assembled. And we've got our leaves, and I've separated them into oak and maple in case that makes a difference. And this little piece didn't give me the flexibility that I wanted. So I got out another bigger piece of driftwood, and I'm gonna put, which side? Maybe this side. I'm going to actually glue this piece of driftwood on. Oh, and I need more glue. Let's see if that's enough. Just so I have a little bit of variation. And then I've got, a tall pumpkin. I've got a couple of singles, and I have one that I have kind of tilted. So maybe I'll put the tilted guy off to the side here. Let me just arrange them a little. I can put a big orange guy sitting up nice and tall. All right, it'll work when they're glued. and then we'll see how it goes. I want to get a little bit of moss on here and there first though, because we need it to look a little more natural. You know, just little bits and pieces. Nothing major. And especially I want like this to look a little mossy. So let me get some moss glued in here and there. So we've got a little bit of interest happening. And then we've got pumpkins to go, and I'm gonna do the leaves last. All right, that's the moss for now. I can add more in if I need to. Let me just get this out of the way. It's very messy. I can add more in after I get the pumpkins in, but let's kind of give it a try here. I kind of like the idea of those guys just nestled up in there. So let's just bite the bullet and start with that one. The little tilted guy is cute. I like the tilted one. I might need to tilt some others. And I may do my big stack over here. Over here-ish. And I could stack those guys. I don't want them looking like dominoes or something, but I could do that with this one kind of leaning off to the side back there. Okay, I'm kind of digging that. All right, let me glue this guy down. And then this guy's gonna have to have glue on both sides. And then this one to the back a bit. And I hadn't planned on putting one up here, but maybe I will. Okay, I have to finish this guy off then quickly. Awesome. Okay, so there's all of our little pumpkins in our pumpkin patch. And I'm now gonna take a bunch of our leaves and I'm gonna start gluing them, maybe a little darker one up top. I'm just gonna start gluing them in place so we get another element there for a little bit of more definition. This is our finished little pumpkin patch made out of just some acrylic beads. An unexpected little craft, but you know what? Sometimes this is the way that it goes. You're just looking for a little something to do and you start looking through your stash of items. Don't overlook, costume jewelry. I've got upcoming crafts that I'm going to be using some of the pieces of the beads for. These are just little leaves. You could just simply have cut out a leaf shape. You didn't have to have something as intricate. Old pieces of driftwood that I just pick up along the shoreline here. So I'm lucky enough to be by Lake Ontario and close enough to go raiding the shore for some rocks or some driftwood, be that as it may. But, just what I hope that this does is just give you an idea of where inspiration can come from, where it can strike, looking at things differently and thinking, yeah, it's kind of pumpkin shaped and I think I could do something with that. Very least, give it a try, jump in, see how it goes. Let me know what you think of this one. Let me know if you're all running to look for some beads at your local thrift store now. They could be any color. They could, you just need round. It could be round wooden ones. You could do the same sort of thing. You could paint them out if you wanted or needed to. I just happened to discover that this is what I had. Again, you could paint little jack-o'-lantern faces on them if you want to. Switch it up a little bit, but I think it's kind of sweet. Love to hear your comments as always, and definitely look forward to seeing you on the next one. Until then, take care.